There's a lot of people that we could always, a lot of experts that we could talk about. And the Dominion thing specifically, which we think would happen. There's a lot of experts that I thought that we could bring that probably give us some information on this Dominion thing. But there's only one person that really came to mind for me.
Buona sera, it is me, Chris.
Let's get the gang back together.
I'm loving it.
And I have got this.
You think Chris Cuomo right now is like, you know, does it feel too fucking good, does it, boys? Does it feel too fucking good, boys?
I hate my brother.
Yeah, I don't think Tucker cares as much as you, Chris.
Let's get after it and have a smug time.
Some good fucking bread. Tucker's probably fly fishing right now, not giving a fuck.
They probably went to Tucker and they said, you are not to ever talk about Dominion ever again. And then he let out that high-pitched laugh he always does.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm leaving.
You want to bet? He did a you want to bet?
Oh, fuck.
But today we are going to start with this big news, and you're going to get a different take coming out of me about...
He's a little different. Cuomo's different.
Yeah, he's a different guy. He's his own
Not
man.
like you.
Yeah, he's his own free-thinking man.
Yeah, he's a modern-day philosopher.
Oh.
He's like a Guido Nietzsche.
About the news today. Fox News settled, all right? $787.5 million. And that number is everywhere, and it's the whole story for everybody. And for me, it is just the beginning. I think they got off easy.
Whoa. They got, how did they get off easy? They got charged $1 billion.
By the way, you're not gonna hear what everybody else is saying. Literally everybody else on the left is saying what you're saying, Chris. You absolute hack.
But they paid almost $1 billion for doing what all of you guys do, which was to either lie or get things wrong.
They lie, they cheat, they steal.
Yeah, except Eddie Guerrero was cool. Fucking CNN and MSNBC do the same shit every day, and nobody gives a fuck about them. I mean, they literally pushed poison on you for profit, and nothing.
Okay, for
not nothing. And then they made people get the poison 3 more times to be able to go to church.
And that's if you lived in a place where the churches were allowed to open.
Right. There's liquor stores.
Hey, Flash Dancers.
Hey, what's that?
Shout out Flash Dancers.
Hey.
I got some nice advertising in there.
And look who's in front of it, the guy who owns Flash Dancers. And the guy on the left is the guy that goes to Flash Dancers. We have everybody.
And he's the guy who also owns the building that they lease for Flash Dancers. See, I lease it to myself, and it's a tax write-off.
Reasons in their suit against Dominion voting machines, and I don't like that there was a settlement. I told you that last night. I'll tell you more about it tonight.
Yeah, guys, the totally not evil company called Dominion Voting Machines.
That was the name of the main bad guys from Deep Space Nine.
Seriously.
Remember, it was a $1.6 billion.
It was, right?
It was. It was
Dominion, that's right.
It was the Minion War.
Was what Dominion was asking for. Fox, for what?
Their lawyer, Gal Dukat, came out, and Cardassian Gal Dukat came out, and he says, "We mean you no harm."
2020
election. The bad guys from Deep Space Nine were literally shapeshifters. There were Odo's people. They were literally shapeshifters. I'm not saying that as a joke. That's what they were.
Election lies. Again and again and again about Dominion's voting machines, okay? That led to harassment, death threats, but destroyed...
I mean, Dorothy in the chat has a good point. This was just to make sure and nobody questions the election ever again.
Yes.
And it was just a... Now you'll never question Dominion voting systems ever again.
You're not allowed.
Because they want a lawsuit, and anytime you bring up any kind of election shit, now they're going to go, hey, bro, that lawsuit was already settled, pal. And then they go, oh, Fox, you're not allowed to talk about Dominion ever again. But what if you do something in the future and get caught? They're not allowed to report on that? A little weird.
This Dominion thing is ridiculous. And realize something that ever since, notice that Giuliani, have you seen Giuliani on Fox News? He hasn't been on anymore, not since the Dominion shit. Yeah. What's her name? Fucking Susie Kraken? She hasn't showed up anymore either.
Susie Kraken.
Yeah, I call her Susie Kraken. Her, because they're not going to let them on anymore because that's it. These people, they will now use the fucking power of the... And what Fox News did, I will agree with Cuomo, except on a different way. What they did by settling is what Mersch just said. You legitimize them now, boy. We're not going to be able to do anything now. You can't do anything now. You can't say anything now. Every election, even if they cheat right in front of your fucking eyes, you're not allowed to say anything.
Well, they already did cheat right before our eyes.
No, they didn't. It's been settled by a lawsuit. See how that's going to feel now? That's the first one you got. It's going to happen all the time now. Get ready.
Pizza boxes.
About Dominion's voting machines, okay?
Those were, excuse me, those were privacy enhancing pizza squares that they were putting
Pizza
on the
squares.
window. Yes, thank you.
Privacy enhancing pizza squares.
Yes, thank you.
It was just Italian window treatments. That's all it was.
Which is not to be confused with Italian women treatment, which is 2 black guys.
Harassment, death threats, but destroyed the goodwill of the business.
Or not to be confused with Italian window washers, who you don't see anymore nowadays because it's mostly Mexicans.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
In their thing, but it did a lot to the media also, and that has to be kept in context, okay? The deal will prevent...
Chris, you work at News Nation now. Why are you speaking on behalf of the media?
But this next part is this part's the part that I think is why Tucker left.
Deal will prevent the network's biggest stars, Carlson, Hannity, Bartiromo, even Rupert Murdoch himself, from taking the stand. And I'm sure they didn't want that, right? Because Dominion had the receipts on just one level of discovery. But they also don't have to...
Isn't it weird, like a mid-50s guy saying things like the receipts on a news network?
You should say the T.
Yeah. Sure. Well, no, T is what he's on.
...say anything to their audience as a function of this settlement. That's one of the big problems. All right, but let's get to the panel about this.
Let's spill the TRT. I'm going to spill some TRT right now.
My nipples are super sensitive. I forgot my Clomid today. Fuck me. His nipples are like fucking Schwarzenegger's in Junior. Let's see who his panel is. I'm sure it's a crack team.
So it is the biggest.
Who are these people? Does anybody know? The one on the one next to him to the left of him is clearly Benny the Jet Rodriguez. What he looks like now.
When he grew up.
When he
and
grew
he
up.
did become a journalist, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's Benny the reporter Rodriguez. And then the black girl in the middle is just an average girl that Mersh will date. And then the one on the left is
I don't date ugly black women. Can we stop this, please?
The one on the left is royalty free Geraldo Rivera. So that's what you're dealing with here. That's his big crew.
The guy all the way to the left looks like that guy that's typecast as the honorable newspaper reporter.
Yes,
like the one really trying to get to the bottom of the story in every movie.
Fucking Ned Flanders looking ass.
Number we've ever seen attached to anything like this. Are you impressed by the number?
I am totally impressed by the
Is this Scaramouche? Is that what that is?
number.
No.
And I predicted they were going to settle. I know you didn't want them to settle, but they had no choice but
It
to
is.
settle because you can't put the.
It is.
Oh my God.
I knew it. I know scumbags when I see
he had
him.
work done. He looks weird and different. And he's calmer too. I think I didn't recognize him because he's always like, "Hey, oh, yacht Bannon sucking his old fucking cock over here," and he's much more subdued now.
I guess
That threw me. That
Those
is the
stars
mooch.
on the air because they contradicted themselves
On the stand.
So many on the stand because they contradicted themselves on the air. They lied about the election. But the great thing for the 2024 presidential election,
bro, they're gonna cheat and then they're gonna fucking gaslight you into fucking saying that you're wrong for questioning it. That's the best. It really is like dating a psychopath. It's what this is.
It's
Our
like-
relationship with the media is like dating a psychopath.
It's like dating a psychopath, except I can't walk away from this relationship.
It-
I'm legally not allowed.
No, it's
You know what I mean? It's like dating a psychopath woman who also happens to have an army that could come to your house and murder
Do you mean like Black Cleopatra? Who's black?
She was a queen and a warrior.
Yeah, well, she's dead.
it's going to be super tough for Donald Trump to get election lies and election disinformation into the marketplace now because I don't think there's room for it anymore at Fox.
Kind of feel like they saw this coming with that comment.
Why? Fox doesn't even have to apologize, Lindsay.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the problem.
Why would they have to apologize? Did you apologize for helping your brother?
Yeah.
I don't remember you apologizing.
Did you guys apologize for all the COVID stuff?
Did your brother apologize for all the ass grabbing he did in the fucking over there? Did he apologize to that cop that he sent to fucking Saskatchewan because he was fucking his daughter?
Yeah. Did he apologize for not even being able to eat like sausage around a woman without turning it into some kind of fucking sexual thing?
Yeah, that's a good point. And Cuomo, did you apologize for lying about your quarantine and yelling at a fucking old elderly man on a bicycle?
Yeah.
Did you apologize for that?
Did you apologize for melting down on some guy for calling you Fredo and then comparing it to the N-word? Remember that one?
Yo, God, that was fucking top tier. Of course I remember that. Do you apologize for pretending you're doing tricep curls with 150-pound bells? Fake ones, by the way. Huh? Did you apologize for having a show on Sirius XM? Jesus fucking
Everyone
Christ.
should apologize for having a show on Sirius XM except Ron Bennington.
Yes. No. And did you apologize for all the birds you've murdered on your fucking daily
Yeah.
walks, you piece of
Fucking
shit?
bird serial killer.
Yeah, seriously, Chris.
Because I know I was speaking to friends earlier, and
You have no friends. You have white people who you have white people who are nice to you. There's a difference.
was about the idea that everyone who watches Fox News
You have
might
white
actually
people that
believe,
invite you to
like,
lunch so they don't look racist.
Yeah, you know who you are? The ones that go, I have a black friend. You're the black friend.
say the election was stolen from President Trump.
It was. The election was absolutely stolen. I believe the election was stolen.
I have to disavow what my partner Royce Lopez here is saying, and I just want to tell the fine folks that Dominion voting machines that there's nothing creepy or dystopian or authoritarian in any of your messaging, and I think you guys are doing great work over there.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who's doing great work? Who's doing great work?
The people at Dominion voting machines.
These are the good guys.
Corporation.
These are the good guys.
Yeah.
Are they good like Bain Capital was? Remember that
Bain
one?
Capital, very good company. Goes and it saves other companies by buying them and firing everyone.
That reminds me of a new sponsor, Satanism LLC. Yes. They're a great company. They rebuild orphanages. You really should check it out. Oh.
But the difference is the journalist.
Look, Persh, if you can't trust the good folks over
at Dominion Voting Systems, then who can you trust, really? If you can't trust the Cardassians and the fucking the Romulans, then what the fuck?
Who else can you trust? Nobody?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna just be racist to everybody with pointy ears?
Oh fuck, man!
It's not a world I want to live in.
Jesus Christ! Be careful with the Ferengi, though. They play both sides to see who comes out on top.
Mm-hmm. And now fucking Fox has to come up with 800 million latinum.
Gold pressed.
Yes.
It's not easy to get. Platinum. He makes it all at the casino and fucking deep. For whatever reason, they don't need money in the future, but he had a casino. What was that about?
Maybe they were betting the rations.
Oh yeah. They were. That's a good point. Yeah. That's what they did in Voyager when they ran out of we have no money, so what we need to plot to there's replicator rations now. They never was before, by the way, but they needed them. Yeah, whatever. There's replicator rations now.
And then also, why don't you just have infinity replicator rations for everybody? I mean,
why don't you just make another replicator with a replicator?
Exactly. Now you have double the fucking rations.
Fucking, what are you doing?
Now you can crank the replications out.
Come on, Janeway. You're my favorite captain. What are you doing?
Their role, which you heavily.
Yeah, Janeway's my favorite captain, I think. Yeah.
She's better than Picard. Barring all the recent Picard shit, but overall.
As a matter of fact, let me just help you out here. The third season of Picard is fantastic.
Well, I've heard they
You want to know why? It down. They got Star Trek Next Generation writers to go in.
I heard they shut it the fuck down.
They got rid of all the shitty people. They brought back the whole OG crew, wrote a fucking really good story, and it was awesome.
And it's the same tone and
yes,
everything.
It felt because everything wasn't a fucking super fight laser battle like they were doing in the other ones. Picard actually used, his brain. It was actually pretty good.
It's supposed to be some kind of wacky incident. They overcome it. Somebody at the end says something funny, and you go, and then they fade out. It's very simple fucking formula.
This you would really like. There was a scene where Worf sees Riker and Deanna are married, obviously. Worf shows up for the first time in a long time, and the first thing Worf does is starts hitting on Deanna again. It has been 1,000,000 moons since I have missed you. And Riker literally goes, seriously? Right next to it. It was so funny. It was so well done. But anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, sorry, I forgot. We were talking about
Dominion voting systems and how they're totally on the level and that we didn't rig the election. We fortified it. Remember that? They said that. How a group of corporations and billionaires got together to fortify the election. Dominion voting systems.
That's no moon. That's a ballot harvester.
Oh, we're so fucked.
We're kidding, Dominion. Everything we're saying here is a joke.
You guys are cool.